For the first article is regarding to the self-expansion, and we got a respondents from the surveillance that they proposed that we should include the frequency of the self-expansion. And during discussion, we conclude that for the frequency of the expansion, this should be open to the broad establishment to make a decision to determine, and this frequency should be defined and defined by themselves, and should be written down in their procedures. And also, we think that they should use a risk-based approach to determine that frequency. And in our mind, as inventor, our recommendation is that the minimum frequency should be at least once a year.
Right. Our approach was a bit different. We want to define it more because regularly it's quite wide and leave it open to all the establishments. So we have proposed that self-inspection should be performed annually or at least every 2 years. We do not restrict it in annually because there are smaller establishments which will not be able to perform them. So, but we don't want to have self-inspections over than 2 years. Like a 3-year self-inspection is far too much. So we tend to define it really more specific than leave it vague. So that's our position.
So just conclude that, because from Group B they recommend that we could put another wording here to regularly to the current article. We think that it will be good, but for frequency we don't have to include exactly how often into the article, but we could recommend this to use the best approach, and maximum should not more than every 2 years. Okay. And for the next article is talking about about the hygiene. So should there be a written hygiene instruction including the appropriate clothing? And about the hygiene, the response from the survey is talking about that the medical examination should be done upon the recruitment, and also after life should be carried out when necessary for the work and personal health. And the conclusion from the Group A that we agree this proposed, but we propose to change the wording. The wording should be changed that there should be a procedure in place to outline the risk mitigation strategy for the prevention of the cross-contamination from personnel to the blood and blood components. And this strategy could be like the medical examination upon the recruitment and when required. So we're thinking about how to prevent the contamination from human to the product.
Okay, we came across to some of the several available guidelines on this field, and more specifically we came across the EDQM guideline, chapters 2.13 to paragraphs 2.13 to 2.418, and also the relevant WHO guideline at chapter 4.3. So they're quite analytic and they've got a lot of details. And comparing the two chapters, we decided to include points from the WHO guideline, which is quite specific and analytic and with a lot of details. So we can have it as a block.
And let's move to the next one. The next one is regarding to the private area of the questionnaire area. So the current article is talking about that there should be a suitable donor interview facility, so the interview can be carried out in a private. But the response from survey, the proposed that the current article means the questionnaire area is the area who the donor fill this registration form or something. And after our discussion, we saw that the current article should be modified for some wording. For example, for this interview area, it's not exactly the facility. if you put a wording facility where that people think that it should be a separate building to have an interview area, for the interview. So we suggest to change the wording from facility to area. And also, for the interview should be carried out, it's a separate and private. And how to define that it's private, we can define from two ways. It's also from the video that we cannot see what other people just written down. And also, we could use some music to have some audio private tool. And also we propose about the questionnaire area. We propose to like the questionnaire to be complete in also separate area, so that the donor can complete the questionnaire in a comfortable manner. So for the questionnaire area, how you define it private, it doesn't need to have exactly a room, because something they feel the questionnaire area for the mobile side, it's difficult to have that kind of facility. So maybe just to create a comfortable area for the donor to fill like questionnaire.
Right. Okay. So we went across the relevant guidelines from WHA and EDQM, which is 6.1.2 and 6.1.8 accordingly, and we finally resulted in the Canadian guideline, which states the following wording: an area shall be set aside for donor interviews in mobile sites to ensure visual and auditory privacy of the donor and donor information. The blood collection area should be organized in an orderly manner.
And next one is talking about the storage area for the material, especially for the mobile site. And a response from the surveillance is that they propose to provide a more detailed requirement with respect to the storage condition for the material. And after our discussion, we reviewed the current article, and we think that the item we should consider is not just the hand wash facility, the central site donor interview area. Also, the waste management should also be included in that article. And so our conclusion is that the procedure for the material storage should be in place to ensure it's maintained according to the manufacturer's specification. It means that for each material, the supplier may already clarify that you should storage in certain temperature range or something. You should follow like a specification.
So there are two issues. The first issue is about temperature monitoring, which was not included under section 7.16, but the relevant information could be found in section 11.4. And about the wording on the storage requirements, we decided to expand from other relevant chapters of EDQM and WHO. So we're not very specific on that.
And regarding the documentation, we take a lot of time to discuss, and this is a response from the surveillance that they propose that the general requirement for the documentation system are not very detailed. So recommend to integrate the guideline from other guide, like the PIC guide, and also recommend to include the requirement that procedure must be available for all quality-related activity, to include and also include the backup for the computerized systems. So what the group A did is that we look into for each article under like documentation chapter. So first we look at the current article about for the point 9.2. And the current article is talking that each activity which affect the quality of the blood or blood component should be documented and recorded. But we think that the original sentence will make us ambiguous. Just because if they're talking about like which affect the quality, well, seeing that it's an activity that already affect the quality, where I think it maybe it's talking about deficiency, or talking about how could you perform your how the corrective action and how you document. So we discuss and we propose to change to all step to change the wording to all step of the process that may have influence on the quality of the block or block component should be documented and recorded. And also there are other standard that we could refer to as a reference. And then we move to the Article 9.3. The current one is there should be a manner or computer system in place the traceability. And here the current wording is forwarding, responding, confidential, respected confidential, but we think that is not respected, it should be ensured. So we like to change the wording to ensure the confidential. And we continue to review the article. So for Article 9.4, the blank is the current one. So this is talking about the recall. The current one says that recall should be sure to be reliable and true, responsive of the result. But we propose to change the wording to recall should be true and accurate. That meant at the time of the activity. And regarding to the Article 9.5, it's also talking the recall should be kept in a secure storage area for at least 10 years. We will discuss about the 10 years should not exactly 10 years. We should based on depend on we depend on how kind of recall that belong to. So the return of the recall should be clearly defined, not just 10 years. So it's the block especially should define the storage area. And also to the Article 9.6, the current one is that the document control procedure should be established to provide for review and a revision history of document. It should include a distribution list. And we also revert to the article from the WHO, and we suggest that we should change the wording to the WHO one. It's like document control standard operation procedure should be established for the development, review, approval, distribute, and implementation, revision, and archive of the document. And for the 9.3, because if we revise the 9.6 to include the revision, then we think we can delete the original 9.7 because it's also talking about the review or something.
Okay, regarding documentation, we went through the relevant chapters of EDQM, WHO, and the PIC's guideline for source plasma. And after comparing that, we decided that the WHO chapter, which refers to SOP, documentation and standard operating procedures on one side, and records on the other, that this relevant chapter 5 of documentation can be included as a log, and so that we agree what chapter document control.
Yes. So maybe we need to take time to more detail to review it, to take a look at WHO's guideline to see maybe we could have some reference on it. And for Article 11.10, it's talking about the range, about the radiation. So after discussed, I think because for Group A we still have time to discuss this one, but I got information from Gil. The standard of the Council of the European, the range is from 25 to 40.
So the European Council guides.
Sorry, 25 to 50.
Right, okay. We were able to cross to check out with the Canadian statistician. So if the European, yes.
And I also checked AABB, and that's 25 to 50 as well.
So I think it's
So
clear
I
cut.
think it's clear, it's 25 to 50.
So another proposition was about chapter 15.4 about the effective recall procedure, which should be in place, ensuring prompt action at the same time. That the procedure should specify the responsibilities and actions to be taken in anticipated contingencies. Action should be taken within a reasonable time frame and should include traceability of all relevant supplied blood component products, and where applicable should include look-back procedures. So there's insufficient information about conducting of look-back procedure and hemovigilance, and the effectiveness of the arrangement for recall should be evaluated regularly. So our recommendation is to include information on look-back procedures, which could be found in the standards, the following standards, which is the WHO chapter 3.9.2 and 3.11, and the relevant 9.3 chapter at EDQM. So I think that's our proposition.
Yeah.
We didn't move further, so
Yeah, because we run out of time.
we ran out of time about the more requirements needed.
And yeah, one thing I would like to say is that also Group B, they do a good job. They collect all the redacted article from other guide and other standard. For example, for this point, they come across all the reference, all the article that we could refer to. So it's really nice, and we will upload this information to our event website. So after you back to your country, you could just download on the website. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. That was a good overview of what we did on the workshop. One thing that I did want to just confirm with you. In order for us to use that information, I'll need to contact the relevant organisations to get permission to incorporate any parts of their clauses into our document. And then once we get the okay for that, then there will be then references to the updated document. So just so you know, we've got to go through a process. We can't just automatically pick things out and pop into our document. We need to be formal in our approach. So just so that we know that that's how we're going to do it. So thank you, Group A and D. Group C and D, could you please come up and present?